about his reaction to the US election. President Obonjo, hello and welcome to the Nearly News Show. Well, welcome back to the Nearly News Show, should I say.
Luke, it's a very sad day for dictatorship. A very, very sad day. I don't understand how an incumbent president could lose an election. I just don't understand how he could not have possibly rigged the election. It's a sad day for dictators.
I thought you was going to be happy, Mr. President, but clearly, so what is your approach to recounting the ballots or stopping the ballots? Do you think President Trump has been too late to react?
Look, the first thing I think he should have done after he got elected 4 years ago is to have just suspended the Constitution, closed down both the House of Congress, or what's it called, Reps, and the Senate. I mean, when Joe Biden got nominated as the Democratic leader, he should have arrested Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He was just weak for someone who was trying to behave like a dictator, for someone, despite the advice that myself, Kim Jong-un, and Putin, he took his eye off the ball. It was too late just too late.
President Obonjo, Mr. President has spoken about, due to the loss of Joe Biden, he's now going to have to leave the country and move somewhere else. Now I hear that Canada's border is closed and obviously the wall is there at Mexico, so he can't get to Mexico. Is the Laughter Republic open for President Trump?
Definitely not. We don't like leaders who have failed when they're trying to implement dictatorship. There is no political asylum for Donald Trump. What I have done, and I am a bit conflicted because I am not into democracy, but I have to have a working relationship. As you know, we have a very unique relationship with the divided states of America. So I have tweeted to the president-elect, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris, to congratulate them and to extend my friendship, even though I have to say to you that I don't have anything in common with Joe Biden.
Yes.
I don't have anything. So I am not really sure. But I tell you what is really annoying me right now is the main TV channel stations in the Western media. They have reported world leaders who have congratulated Joe Biden. And no African leader has been acknowledged, even though I was one of the very first. I congratulated Joe Biden before any of the Western leaders. And they have failed to acknowledge me. The first person they acknowledged, and they read his tweet, was the Canadian Prime Minister. No mention of my tweet. And I have evidence that I tweeted immediately as soon as the announcement was made.
I can't believe it. That's very upsetting. Now, are you?
I just think that the Western media and the West do not take African leaders seriously. You see, at one point when Donald Trump was claiming, and I don't know what evidence he had because he didn't plan it properly, that the elections were being rigged and mail balloting and whatever it was, that excuse he was given. You know, one of the things he could have done, he could have got myself, Laughter Republic. We would have observed the elections for him. He could have got Kim Jong-un. There's no way he would have got Russia because he was accused of getting Russia involved 4 years ago. But at least Kim Jong-un, myself, Assad, we would have, and the Ugandan president, we would have found a way to send observers to observe the election, and we would have found a way to make sure he won. It's a sad, really sad day. And I hear he went to play golf while the announcement was being made. And I know that Hitler, when he lost, was doing something similar. So it's obvious that it's as if he wanted to embrace the full dictatorship, but he didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
He was such a weak leader.
You must be quite angry because usually you're seen and pictured playing golf with Donald Trump, and he must have been so embarrassed that he didn't invite you along this time.
But I didn't even want to be along because I couldn't. I'm okay. I know the the positive thing about Donald Trump losing right now is there is a brilliant opportunity for me to take the world stage. I mean, before he was regarded as one of the funniest dictators in the world. Now I can take my rightful place. And I have been doing a lot of work on Twitter to try and attract so people know who I am and what I stand for. And Donald has well over 84 million followers. These are people who enjoy dictatorship. So I genuinely think that I am now one of the funniest dictators in the world right now.
Definitely. I do not dispute that at all. Now, is it true, you remember a month ago or so when Donald Trump was, he was in the news about him not paying tax in America. Is it true that you managed to threaten him to ensure that he paid tax to the Laughter Republic instead of the US?
Well, the US, what really annoys me about the US is they lost a lot of credibility. They became a laughing stock. Yes, in order for me to help Donald Trump during the last election, he was paying taxes to us, just like African countries are paying tax to France. It was the other way around for America. They were paying tax to us. And I genuinely believe that because Joe Biden is a progressive, whatever that means, that it's quite possible that he will genuinely not want to continue the arrangement we had with Donald.
Absolutely, I'm sure that this is now changed. I mean, the demise of Donald Trump started a while back. It started when he was impeached. There he is. Oh, hello. Look, I'm sorry, Mr. President. Well, I remember, if you remember rightly, we used to have lots of interaction when we used to do our previous broadcast, and we have Peter Merriment, who is a lovely, lovely comedian, someone who's booked me, and back in the day when gigs used to be a thing. He says, "Is it true that Mr. Trump is building a golf course in the Laughter Republic?"
Well, that is not correct. That is another of many things that the Western media. What I know has happened is this: he has a golf course in Scotland, so there is every likelihood that, especially with Nicola Sturgeon, that he may be granted political asylum, and he then moves to Scotland. But that view that he has a golf course in Laughter Republic in Baghdad, that is not right.
Well, I'm sure there's absolutely certain that he hasn't got one in the Gagag. You would never allow it. We've had another question already. Is it true that Mr. Trump has been offered asylum by the Laughter Republic? We've already covered this. Peter, if you're watching earlier on, then you would know this. I don't know why you're doing this, because you know that this upsets your president, Obonjo. So, yeah, Mr. President, he's clearly not tuned in at the beginning, so he obviously doesn't care, does he?
Who's that?
Peter, he asked, is it true that Trump has been offered asylum in Left Republic? As we said, we've already covered this. Don't anger President Obonjo. He's already got his emotions heightened.
No, what we are going to do, actually, is that we are going to confiscate all of his properties.
Yeah? Yeah, including the Trump Tower and everything else there?
Yeah, including the Trump Tower. Just bear with me. I can hear some people outside. Give me 2 minutes. Talk to the people. I will be back.
I will talk to the people. Hello, people. This is me talking to you. Yeah, well, we've been away for a little while. We just thought we'd come back and do a little special with President Obonjo. Do you know what? I haven't actually got a producer at the moment. I had to put him on furlough. The other thing is, well, we've all been talking about President Trump, but I've been speaking to a pigeon recently for the Nearly News show because I've been told that Dastardly and Muttley have finally stopped the pigeon. So whilst all you guys are getting overwrought and annoyed and upset about Joe Biden winning the election and getting happy that Joe Biden won the election, the pigeon from Dastardly and Muttley has been caught. So that's the important news for me, to be honest. I need to see if... oh, look, President Obonjo is back. Yes, we've got him. Thank you very much. I was just trying to... I was just using some filler there, talking about pigeon and Dastardly and Muttley. Did you sort the people out coming to your door, Mr. President?
Yes, I did. I did. It's I've been talking to, because some of my officers are in Liverpool at the moment. They're probably, the rescue team helping out with COVID in Liverpool.
Yes, with the test and trace. You've been injecting hilarium into people again, have you?
Yeah, lots of hilarium. That is what we've been doing. So, yes, I switched off my TV earlier on because as soon as they made the announcement, and I was just I'm conflicted. I am conflicted. I feel that the world is, I don't know what to expect from Joe. I have no idea. People say, that he's an expert. He's been around for 47 years. But we will see. I don't know what his intentions are for fictional countries like ours.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Mr. President, I need to address you and Lindsay because I think there's a slight latency in the broadcast. And as I was there ad-libbing, talking about a pigeon, he's since said... hello, so tell me more about yourself. I know so much about President Obonjo, but nothing about you. Ewan, I'm a newsreader and a presenter, and my job as an interviewer is to disappear and be unnoticed. So, again, pointless question, not going to be answered. Very rarely do you see an interviewer or a presenter be interviewed. So that's not going to happen. Stop trying to penetrate the Nearly News show. Mr. President Obonjo, the important thing is that you're still a very strong leader. Whilst Trump has been taken off his pedestal, whilst Trump is going to be taken down and probably going to have to move to Scotland where his golf course is, you're still going strong. And so talk to us about what you're hoping to do, what you're hoping to achieve in the next few months, whilst they're going to demand recounts and go to court with this election.
I think let me say this. I am currently on TikTok, where I have been giving presidential addresses. Yes. And I know for a fact that I have lots of fans from America. Even they wanted me to come and run in America for the elections. Now, I know deep down that there are some people who will be genuinely disappointed with the election results. So I am prepared to give them refugee status in Laughter Republic.
Yeah.
The second point is this. As I understand it, my good friend Donald Trump, even though I am going to try and make a phone call to Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Assad, and we are going to say to him that he should extend congratulatory messages to Joe Biden. But we will see, because he may well not want to do that. And if that is the case, there is a window of opportunity, because right now America is very, very weak. If the president-elect is not talking to the president and there is no transition, that gap between now and the 20th of January 2021, that is the opportunity for someone to actually take charge of America.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does make sense, yes. And now, obviously, one of the other big things that came out of the election was the failure of Kanye West, who wanted to become president himself. Now, is it true that he's reached out to the Laughter Republic to try and join your constituency?
Look, Kanye West doesn't even know Kanye West. I met Kanye at Madame Tussauds a few months ago before he went back to America.
Yeah.
I think he should just stick to rap music. And, and in short, all the black rappers, Ice Cube, Ice T, Ice S, Ice B, I understand all the black rappers supported Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. President, are you any good at rapping?
No, interesting enough, I was speaking to someone today who is a very good rapper. And we are planning to do some collaboration for the people who are under house arrest by the British government. And so she raps. She's a very good rapper called Gabby. And we had a session today. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. So, Mr. President, what advice do you have with to Joe Biden? Because he's a Democrat, he's generally a bit of a socialist. Well, according to what Trump has called him, he's called him a socialist. And so, what advice do you have for him to be a good leader in America? Because if he gets to July, what month is it? It's November. Yes, it's November. We're in Remembrance Month. If he gets to January and he takes office after all of these court cases and he takes lead, then I don't think he's really expected to win at the beginning of it. So what advice do you have for him?
For who? For Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Okay. First things first. We know very well that COVID loves elderly people.
Yeah, he's 78.
Yeah. So I don't know the history of America, but I am not sure whether a president-elect, unfortunately, doesn't become a president, maybe out of ill health or they die. I'm not suggesting Joe Biden will die. But this is what I would say. He needs to stay away from COVID. That is point number one. He has to stay away from COVID during this. Actually, I would actually say that he needs to be at home throughout the period before inauguration. He can make his celebratory speech from his house. I hear the airspace where he lives now is a security area. So let him. I genuinely believe, honestly, I look, because the danger of Joe leaving his house is that he could be affected by COVID. And he's 78 years of age, or 77. What does that actually mean for America? It means that if anything happens to Joe Biden before the inauguration, Kamala becomes president of the United States.
Mr. President, I'm just hearing from one of our producers. One of our producers just confirmed that Joe Biden has just had a medical to check whether he's fit to be president, and they've diagnosed him with Alzheimer's, and what they've said is that he was not of fit mind when he decided to become a candidate, a president-elect for the election. So what you've said appears to suggest that he should retire and put a blanket over his legs and just drink soup until he passes away naturally without COVID. Because if we're having word that he's got Alzheimer's and he didn't even want to be president, then, we're in trouble, I think.
Look, listen to me, my good friend. Look, listen to me. You see, like I said to you, Donald Trump made a mistake with his whole campaign, tried to behave like a civilian president, gave the opposition leader an opportunity to tour and to tell these people what he was going to do. This Alzheimer's thing that people talk about and the fact that they call him Sleepy Joe, that is a civilian campaign. It was a waste of time. Seriously, it was a waste of time. What he should have done with Joe, he should have arrested Joe. That is the way to do it. If he really wanted to be a real dictator, he would have put his opposition leader under house arrest.
Yes.
So,
you must be very proud. You must be very proud of Museveni in Uganda, who put his leaders, his oppositions, under house arrest during COVID, so they couldn't win the election, which is a very, very clever dictatorship approach that you employ in Laughter Republic.
Look, like I said to you, there have been numerous dictators who have gone through elections and they have never messed it up the way Donald Trump messed it up. So, once again, for the people who want to hear, if there are any Americans, please tell Joe Biden to stay away from COVID. COVID loves elderly people. Stay away from COVID. Stay in your house. Let Kamala do all the running around until the day of the inauguration. That is my best advice to him.
Absolutely, Mr. President. We're going to cut this. We're coming to the end of this broadcast. We told your constituents when we were first doing the Nearly News show, if they want us to continue to do the Nearly News show, they have to pay the Laughter Republic to do it. The Laughter Republic has limited funds because you've had to furlough a lot of your staff, and we need the funds to continue doing this. We've came back to do you a special broadcast about the US election. But if you want the Nearly News show to come back permanently on a weekly basis, you're going to have to pay for it, I'm afraid.
That is very, very correct. Ever since I have been under house arrest by the British government, they have also stopped the foreign aid money that we used to get, because the 80% that is being given to the British people, that is money that we would have received in the first place. But I hope that my people are encouraged by the fact that I'm still very much alive. I like the idea that I am the funniest dictator in the United Kingdom. And I genuinely believe that those who are listening to us now, if they want us to come back, they should leave comments and a lot of dosh, and we will come back on a weekly basis. But this has been fun. I suspect Joe Biden has now made his congratulatory message to the world, I hope. But I will be speaking to Donald Trump, because I think he needs to give Joe Biden a phone call.
To say thank you, to congratulate him and book a ticket to Scotland.
Yeah, I genuinely, look, I wish we had more time. Where was the U.S. military army? Why didn't they intervene?
Yeah, and all these people that went there with rifles, what were they doing with them? They didn't shoot their rifles. That's what I understand. He sent all these people with rifles, but they obviously didn't put any bullets in the rifles to shoot. And
it was so ridiculous, my friend, because if it was Africa that was experiencing what America had experienced over the last week or so, they would have invaded that country. They would have imposed their own leader, like Venezuela. They would have said, "Oh, we recognize this leader rather than this one." It's unfortunate, but I think there's an opportunity. I genuinely think actually that Joe might not even know that he's been elected.
Yeah. I don't know if he's aware of it. I don't know if he, you know what, if he has got Alzheimer's, tomorrow he'll wake up and forget. Maybe that's the best thing that could happen to Trump. He'll forget that he's a president, and then Trump will just go back to the White House and carry on leading because Biden's
No,
forgotten.
no, Trump is done. Trump has betrayed dictators around the world. He has failed to display the dictatorship principles, despite the induction that we gave him over the years. He's a disappointment. He needs to just leave, find somewhere else to go to. Yeah.
Oh,
But
I've just had another word, President Obonjo, from our people saying that it's actually they've just had contact from your office, your presidential office, to say that they've received a application form to the Left Republic to present the Left Republican Apprentice next year. Will you accept Donald Trump's application to present the Left Republican Apprentice next year?
I will be glad to do that, but I suspect that Donald Trump would not recover from his depression following losing the election. I genuinely believe that Donald Trump is going to be a refuge. He will lock himself up with all those Russian ladies. That is what I think.
I also understand that McDonald's have lost money this year because of COVID, but I understand that due to President Trump's loss and depression, perhaps McDonald's are going to actually see profits this year rather than a loss, because I know we all know how much he loves Mackie D's.
Actually, what is really interesting, part of the project that I have been doing with this lady who I said raps called Gabby, she is a very good cook. And we have been thinking of giving McDonald's our favorite dish in Laughter Republic, roasted heckler.
Roasted heckler.
Yeah, roasted heckler is what Gabby is going to be cooking for McDonald's as a recipe. It's a very delicious meal. Very, very delicious.
It sounds like a chicken with Tourette's.
No, you have to try it. It's quite delicious. Roasted heckler. It will be out, I think I said to Gabby, the plan is to try and get it to McDonald's so that they can start selling it as from summer next year.
What's it called? A milk heckler?
No, roasted heckler.
But then where's the Mac? Everything does McDonald's has got Mac before it. Mac heckler, yeah, Mac roast heckler.
It will be called Mac roasted heckler Obonjo.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sean said it's his favourite. We've had a great response to this, President Obonjo. But your constituents have to put their money where their mouth is. They're a tight bunch of bastards, and they need to they need to spend the money.
Don't insult my people. They have supported me during the first. They're a lovely people. I genuinely, no. Don't insult my people. They are saving up for all the Christmas presents that they're going to be sending me in December.
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. President. Look, let's not give them too much for their free money. This has been a nice special. Bring it back to your people. This is the Nearly News show. This brought you the special, the US election special. Trump is out. He's out of the president election, and Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, is going to be our president across the world. Hopefully, you can turn him into a dictatorship, and you can ensure that he rules his people with martial law in just the way that you do in the Laughter Republic.
That is the plan, Luke. You read my mind. You warmed them up. So I've sent my congratulatory message. There are 89 million, or how many people voted for Donald Trump. Those people are traitors to Joe Biden. And he needs to find a way of locking them all up. Yeah. Locking them all up before a revolution starts in America. But I will talk to him. I'm looking forward to being invited to the inauguration in January.
Just be careful. He might be asleep.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Mr. President, thank you so much. We'll speak again. We'll bring the Nearly News show back occasionally for you guys to see. But if you want it to be regular, we need to monetize this. We need to bring the money for the Laughter Republic because it needs these urgent funds to ensure that he can create a army that will support a martial law for Joe Biden in his new position in America. So it's very important. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Go on, please.
I was just going to say,
yeah,
thank you so much for everyone who has joined me. We will come back and take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Make sure you have enough lube, paper, and everything else that you need. And do not watch other comics. Thank you.
Also, if you run out of toilet paper, I'm sure Donald Trump will be releasing a book soon for you to use as loo paper. Thank you so much for watching the Nearly News show today. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. And, this is it. This is the dawn of a new day. But stay forever faithful to your president, Obonjo. Good night for now, and speak to you soon. Thank you for watching.